I think his work is phenomenal.
The only criticism I'd make about tonight is that they allowed Margarito 2 rounds more than he should have done. They should have stopped at the end of the 10th round. Yeah. He was totally beaten, and he was just taking punishment for punishment's sake.
Well, he certainly entertained in the first 5 rounds, didn't he, Pacquiao?
Yeah, and I think, you know, the success what Margarito had was partially because Pacquiao allowed him to do it. You know, he sat on the ropes and he allowed him to work. I think he was taking a bit of a breather, but I think Freddie Roach would have given him a bit of a telling off in the corner. And after that point, he sort of never laid on the ropes again, and every time he was on there, he span off and he counter-punched him straight away.
I mean, we talk about the power of Pacquiao. At light middleweight, he's still very powerful, but of course, against a big light middleweight like Margarito, who does take a good shot, he wasn't able to get him out of there. But of course, the accuracy and the amount of punches he threw just marked, you know, Margarito. As Colin says, he could have been taken out of the couple rounds before.
Tough few in there.
Very proud, but he would say that because he said a 10th round stoppage. I said points, so I will, you know.
But you know, Margarito, you'd have expected to have come back stronger in the second half of the fight, as he often does, but it just never really happened, did it?
He punched her at standstill.
I was just saying, the accumulation, the shots what he'd taken up until that point didn't allow him to.
Well, we said speed would win it for Pacquiao, and of course he was twice as fast as Margarito, and which nullified the size factor. You know, watching that, I thought, what was I worried about size for?
He did have success, you know, but Pacquiao, I think, more through just loss of concentration sometimes, got caught. And, you know, a big man gets on top in the second half of the fight when the small man gets tired. This small man didn't get tired, never gets tired.
Margarito showed great art because he never got discouraged, even though he was taking shots after shots, he kept coming forward and trying.
I mean, Pacquiao's got a bit of a chin as well. I mean, he got hit with one uppercut, forget what round it was, nearly took his head off, and he just didn't buckle.
Certainly the biggest man he's ever faced, and probably the biggest shots he's ever taken.
Yeah, and now let's face it, there's only one man in the world who's got a chance with him, and that would be Mayweather.
And it's okay saying you can see through these eyes. It's okay looking at a pair of fingers in front of you and saying I can see that, but the peripheral and around the edges where the shots are coming from all angles, that's what he couldn't see.
He'd have had a job seeing them shots coming anyway with 2 good eyes.
Glenn McCrory had a great line when the referee put his fingers up. He said,